Hey there, and welcome to a short video tutorial on side splits on the reformer. This is a request from Corey. Hi, Corey. And I'm so glad that you picked this exercise. And actually, Corey has requested tutorials on all of the 3 splits. So side splits, which is today's video, front splits, and Russian splits. So this is part 1 of 3. And I kind of felt like they each deserve their own video because there's a lot going on in them. They're a little more complex in exercise. You know, you're standing on the reformer. And for me, this exercise, it's taken me a long time to love it. I always felt that it comes near the end, if not the very end of your workout. You've already, whipped yourself into shape on the reformer. And now after all of that, you're kind of wrung out. And now you're going to stand up on the reformer and, have one spring. So I always feel like when I get up there, I'm like, oh, danger, standing on the reformer. And while I'm perfectly capable of standing on the reformer and doing this exercise, I do want to impress with you that this is an exercise for people you trust, that are in control, and that are not wild. Because it can be a very dangerous exercise. You want them to be very focused on what they're doing and very precise about where they're putting their feet and how they're getting to the exercise. So that's my safety first speech. And let's talk a little bit about how to begin the exercise and what's going on. We're going to start with the basic version. So after the bulk of your reformer exercises, after pelvic lift, then is when you'll do the split series. They come pretty much at the very end of your workout. So I'm going to put it on 1 spring. So I do this exercise on 1 spring. It's helpful to start out, if you're new to the exercise, with 2 springs. Because on 1 spring, the carriage is very hard to close. And that's the part you really want to have control over. And so the 2 springs will give you a little more assistance and support to close the spring than the 1 spring will. And while you're on the 2 springs and you're doing the exercise, at a certain point, as you continue to perfect and get stronger and work the exercise, you'll start to feel like, it's a little bit easier than you would like to close the spring. Maybe it feels, like the focus is more pushing out on the 2 springs. So when it feels more manageable, then you can try it on 1 spring. But do be careful. So I'm going to use some pads as well, and I'm going to put it on 1 spring. The foot bar is down, and I like to put my pad on the frame. This pad is very necessary, and it's going to be held in place with the foot bar. And then if you wear socks in your studio, it's nice to put another pad over here directly across so that that's where your feet will go. I'm barefoot, so I'm not worried about slipping, so I'm just going to use 1 pad. And maybe I should face the camera to do the first side. So wherever you're going to step onto the reformer, that's where you want the pads. So right now, this pad is over on that side of the reformer, so I would step on from that side. So I'm just going to change it because I'm going to step on from this side. Generally, you don't want to step across the reformer to get to your pads. You want to stay right where you're going to be, which is 1 foot on the frame and 1 foot directly across from it against the shoulder rest. Okay, so you're going to step carefully with both feet onto the carriage. And then keeping your legs straight, you're going to put in a moment they'll be straight. You're going to put 1 foot firmly on the frame. And this is where the exercise starts. This is, I think we're falling into another pet peeve of mine. So you may have learned that when you get advanced, you don't have to move your foot in this fashion all the way over to the shoulder rest. And this way to go back. This is a very integral part of the setup of the exercise. I was taught at one point that once you don't have to do that and you're advanced, you can just move your foot and step over there. That's kind of dangerous. In Joe Pilates' studio, he didn't mess around. The goal of the exercise on the reformer was to be able to do the exercise with no springs. So, and we don't really We generally don't talk about that now, but if you had no springs and you picked up your foot and put it over there, you'd sail away. So this is the holding in of the carriage, and this is all of this and your center working. So every time you move the foot, you work the inner thigh and you prepare it for the exercise that you're about to do. And it may be that to go all the way over to the shoulder rest at first does not seem possible, so just stop, just go where you need to go. That's perfectly fine. I'm gonna go all the way out. You want your feet to be evenly across from each other, and you're gonna reach your arms out to the side. So push into your feet and push the carriage out. Hold it for 3 counts, 2, 3, and then push into your feet, pull up your center and close the spring. And hold here for 3 counts, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go again, press out and hold, 2, 3, and then pull yourself together, hold, 2, 3. One more time, this is the basic version, 1, 2, 3, and pull it together, 1, 2, and 3. And then you would heel toe back. Again, don't bend your legs and cheat. Use your inner thighs, use your stomach. Leave some space on the carriage to bring your other foot to the carriage. And then you're going to turn toward the springs to go to the other side. Okay, so that was the basic version. The holding the carriage out for 3 counts and the holding the carriage in for 3 counts is building into your workout the control in this exercise, because eventually on the last repetition when you hold, we're going to do something. And I like to call this the embellishment. Romana used to call it picking the flowers. Jay doesn't pick any flowers, so we're going to do kind of like the Butch Joe Pilates kind of way of the embellishment. So I'm going to do the same side again. So again, to recap, you're going to stand one foot up, the other foot up on the carriage. You're going to be careful as you step firmly onto the frame. And then you're going to heel toe yourself, keeping the carriage as still as possible, of course, over to the shoulder rest. So let's go again. You're going to press out and hold, 2, 3, and pull it together. And this is a challenging exercise because even though you are kind of going down on the inside, you need to be going up, 2, 3, and then pull it in, 1, 2, and 3. So now the third repetition, you're going to go out and hold. And now instead of holding for 3 counts, you're going to use a flat back and you're going to lower yourself. And then you're going to drop at the waist. Use your stomach. You're going to roll back up. Notice the carriage is still, it's not moving. And then as you push down into your feet, you're going to lift your chest up. And then when you look straight ahead again, you'll take your arms out to the side and close the spring. And now you're going to do it again with the spring closed. So flat back over, drop at the waist, roll it up. Oh, see my carriage is moving. Keep the carriage still, lift your chest, open your arms, and now you'll heel toe back. This is supposed to keep the carriage still too. And then you'll step on. And if I were doing the other side, once I was finished, let's pretend I did the other side. Oh, we have to talk about the other side. My bad. Okay, so let me come back and talk to you. So on one side, your embellishment is just as I described. You're going to go over, drop, roll up. And then on the other side, you're going to do the saw. Oh my gosh, the saw standing. So as you're in the side split, when you go out on the third repetition and you're holding the carriage open, you're going to saw. The carriage stays open. And then you're going to bring the carriage in, and you're going to do the same thing holding the carriage in. And you'll actually saw the exact same way. And I just wanted you to see it there, and now I'm going to put it on the reformer. Maybe I'll do the same side again. I think I'm going to turn around, actually. So pretend I did the first side. Foot on the frame, heel toe out. Oh, now my butt's going to be to the camera. So you're going to go out, hold, 2, 3, and then pull it in. 2, 3. But it feels nice to do the other side. So pardon my po-po. Here's the third repetition. So you're going to go toward the foot bar. You're going to close the spring, and then you're going to do the same thing. Really pulling up to close the spring. And then you'll heel toe yourself back. Step to the carriage, and then you'll just step down. So, what is really going on here? Yes, you're working the inner thighs. Yes, you're working your center. But if you think about it, the inner thigh, the arch, the inner side of the knee, the inner low stomach, all the way up, it's a huge component of your powerhouse. It is your powerhouse. So to be extended in that position and to kind of have to pull your legs under you, that's a big skill. So that's really what's going on there. And it's not really about how far out you go. It's really about, can you control and pull yourself together into a standing position. So that's why it's at the end, because it's the skill of standing upright, supported, is what we're building. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like more videos like this, become a subscriber, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for front splits. Bye! And then, as a way to finish, you can take your legs over and then pop yourself up and balance in your teaser. Woo! It's hard to balance up here. So I'm going to use some pads. Who's made off with my pads?